I've lasted this long without talking about it, but today I'm going to be talking about the one, the only Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is, as you know, a wonderful, amazing human being. Obviously the best. He always is based as hell. Uh, Seriously, is never a cult leader, anything bad, nothing like that. Uh, Let me start off by showing you this clip that shows you just how based this is.
Let me change that. You will only even acknowledge he exists if he's ignored how he feels 99% of the time before that. Because if he was sad most of the time before that, he never would have got to a place where he could attract a woman like you. The man who works in Starbucks, who's sad all the time, you won't reply to him. Neither will any other female. So
Yeah. This guy is the king of all incels. He is the absolute unit. The man, the myth, the legend. He does everything perfect. Never is unbased, anything like that, nothing bad. According to a news article by Cut, Tate has finally been banned from TikTok. The article starts off by saying social media companies will never provide a platform for the notorious misogynist who argues that women are the property of men. Known by his fans, the king of toxic masculinity. And yeah, so the internet has just been doing wonderful things. He's just been banned. He was originally a kickboxer, I guess, and he is just one of the worst human beings ever. There are clips of people which I personally find these clips cringe, but there are clips of people saying that they will peg the fuck out of him and they will fuck him up, and I don't know. I just think that he is just goofy. So I just want to share some of the highlights, the best and the most cringe of Andrew Tate for you guys, so we can talk about it.
no longer pretend they give a about the fact that most men are basically invisible. There is not a female on the planet who's invisible today. You can be a 4, overweight, fat, you'll still go to the club and get attention. 99% of the men go to the club and nobody even fucking talks to them.
I just want to start off by saying, hey Tate, the reason nobody talks to the men is because men are intimidating, and a lot of men like yourself, famed accused sex trafficker, according to the sportsgrail.com, Andrew Tate house raided in Romania and charges on human trafficking. Actually spitting out facts here. Maybe if you weren't such an asshole and men didn't do so much fucked up shit, and we had people who were taught values like, let's not cheat on women because I'm not entitled to anything, then maybe you would be entitled to a girl to talk to you. Yeah, I'm not going to try and go too deep to this. This video is 9 minutes, so I'm only going to respond to a couple of clips, but this guy is just the king of incels. He looks like a fucking thumb. If you look at him, he's very skinny, he looks like a thumb, and look at his brain. Like, you could take the reflection of your fucking teeth off of his head. Dude is not that cool, but 14-year-olds and high schoolers just bow down to him and act like he's a genius or something.
To a girl, they get blanked and ignored and told to most men are absolutely and utterly invisible. This is the truth about masculinity, right? It's very easy for women to sit here and complain about the top 2% of...
I would like to mention, I love her face. This lady's face is so annoyed and just the epitome of pissed off. She just wants Andrew Tate to shut the fuck up and stop talking to her, ever. And instead she's sitting there and taking it like a champ.
Men, because I dealt with this guy, he's arrogant, blah, 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 blah. Most men don't even fucking exist. They send 10,000 DMs and never even get read, let alone replied to. So if you just sit here and say, I'll get a G, a big G, a boss, a millionaire, and let him have a day off, very nice of you. I'm sure you would. Yeah. But if a guy who wanted to have days off all the time, he never would have got important enough in the first place to attract a woman like you. And that is the reality. As a man, it's player versus player. It's ultimately competitive. And as a man, you have to outcompete the other men who are prepared to get up.
I just want to say, I don't think that this is entirely true. I think that he does have a point, but the fact that he is going off and acting like men are always at fault and women are the ones who are in the wrong is just not true. Let's take a look at, like, the most basic examples, such as gym bros, for example. How many people, if women, I don't know how many women watch my content, or if any, but how many women, if there are any, go out to the gym and all of a sudden you're out there and he's just, like, you just find a dude who walks up and then wants to talk to you, and when you blow them off, they, like, keep coming at you, or they just stare at you and don't say anything because they're afraid to talk to you, which, I mean, that's a confidence issue in men, which we are seeing, I am in the psychology field and the medical field, and I am noticing trends among confidence in men, for whatever reason, but I'm also noticing that there are trends in confidence in women, too, so Not really sure it's a gendered thing, like Andrew Tate's trying to make it out to be. But that being said, I don't understand why he's trying to act like men are the victims. Most of the time when, like, women get approached by men and they try to reject them, like, men don't stop. A perfect example of this, shown in pop culture, is in the new She-Hulk show. I don't know how many people have watched it, but a perfect example, in my mind, of what is wrong with men in society is with this show. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, minor spoilers for the She-Hulk show. The main character Jen goes to a bar, whatever, you know, and she is trying to call Bruce, who's her cousin in the comics and all that. And while she's trying to call Bruce to come pick her up, these men walk up and they just like flirt with her. I could try and show here. I will try and show part of the scene. And if I get copyright claimed, the scene won't be in. Yeah, I'm gonna try and show this. I'm gonna show the scene, and if I get copyright claimed, this is why. But this is what I think is a perfect example of why men or women are so intimidated by men, and why men are just, you know, seen as victims, or they won't get anything, or invisible because of shit like this. So let's just watch.
Yeah, guys. So where are we going, fellas? I don't know. Where? He has the keys. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Fine, thank you.
You with anyone?
I'm waiting for my ride.
What's your name?
I think my boyfriend's just...
Oh, come on. Where you going? Let us keep you company. We're just being friendly.
Yeah, where you going? So what, you too good to talk to us?
Alright, yeah, that's the entire scene. If I get copyright claimed, cool. But basically the point of that scene is she says, hey, I have a boyfriend, and they just come up and they're like, hey, we're just trying to be friendly. Fuck off, dude. Like, seriously, fuck off. It is so frustrating to me now that I am a 21-year-old man almost in the next week, and I look back on myself at 14 and I watched all of these incel content creators such as Think Before You Sleep, or like even at a time when I fell down the alt-right pipeline trying to not get too political, that I just thought that men were always the ones at fault, and women were the ones at fault, and women were the reason why I wasn't succeeding in the dating world or whatever. And it's just really, really frustrating to me, and I'm not trying to, like, go too deep into this, but I would love to keep talking about this, because this is just so frustrating to me.
That's how it works. There's no such thing as saying, I'm sad, I need 2 weeks off. Not as a man if you want to be important.
I mean, if 12 tigers attack me and I manage to defeat 11 in unarmed combat with my Aikido and the last tiger gets my neck, that's a fine way for Tate to die.
Yes, Tate, if you manage to fend off 11 tigers out of the 12 and then you die, but by the 12 tigers, you know, much less that tigers aren't even pack hunters, they're solitary hunters, you know. But hey, if you manage to fend off 11 out of 12 tigers, that would be a perfect heroic way for you to die, just like Hercules.
The machete, boom in her face, and grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Why would you suck dick for free?
Because I love doing it. What the fuck? I don't like, what the fuck? I love sucking dick. Why would
Yeah, but you have no future with these men, so why not at least get paid for it, right?
I don't understand why he's asking a content creator why she would want to suck dick for free, which, you know, if she wants to do it, that's all on her. I don't give a shit. It's not my place to judge women on what they choose to do. But hey, she chooses to do that, I guess, and she's like, why aren't you getting paid for it? She's an OnlyFans content creator. She's getting paid for it through OnlyFans. What are you talking about? It's not for free. And either way, if she likes to suck dick, let her suck dick, man.
on fucking OnlyFans. I don't need them to pay me. I make way more than they could ever give me.
They get paid twice. I don't believe in depression. Don't message me about depression because I don't believe in it. If you're asleep in your bed in the middle of the night and you hear a noise and you believe in ghosts, now you're afraid. But if you don't believe in ghosts, it's the wind and you go back to sleep.
Yes. Wonderful Tate from psychology expert Andrew Tate. Dr. Andrew Tate, world-renowned psychologist. Can't believe that he is just spitting absolute facts. You know, if you don't believe in depression, depression doesn't exist. It, you know, much less the fact that it hurts. Yeah, a population average of 3.8% of the population, you know. It can't be a thing, you know. And, you know, that's approximately 280 million people worldwide. You know, the 280 million people worldwide, they should just be happier, you know? They should just, like, forget that depression exists. Can't believe this psychology expert here, Andrew Tate. Such a genius. Such an absolute freak of nature.
The ghost's power by believing in them. Your house is only haunted if you believe in ghosts. Belief is a powerful thing.
I love this one, because he says, if you don't believe in depression, you won't be depressed. What the fuck are you talking about, my guy? Like, so me, who suffers from depression and anxiety, if I just go out and just start talking to people randomly, what does that mean that my anxiety will go away, even though I'm so anxious when I try to talk to them? You know, if I don't know you, if I'm anxious to talk to strangers, and I just, like, get sick when I'm talking to strangers, you know? Was that a way to do it? Or what about if I get anxious to talk to strangers, and I end up saying something fucked up, and they're not mad at me, because, you know, that's what anxiety does. Does that mean that I no longer am going to be worried or have anxiety? Like, what are you talking about, bro? If you don't believe in anxiety, it'll go away? Do you not understand that that's not how that works?
In front of you, and I were to tell you that I could punch you as hard as I can in your sternum, and I could fracture it and send a splinter into your heart, would you allow me to try?
I would, because then that means that I don't have to look at you anymore.
I believe I could hurt any man on the planet, and that's why people are afraid of me. And you believe depression is a crippling disease, and that's why you're afraid of it.
Yes, I believe that depression is a crippling disease because it is, and it leads to some of the highest suicide rates, you know, really hard stuff to talk about, but it leads to some of the highest suicide rates that we've ever seen. Because most people who commit suicide are depressed, not saying you have to have depression to be suicidal, but yeah, and yes, I believe that you can hurt any man in the world, just like you mentioned, kind of like the, what is it, 5.6 million TikTok followers that you have, or had, I guess, because now you got banned, or the 7.8, what was it, something like that, million YouTube subs. Yeah, also, I would like to mention, you're hurting men every day by having Hustlers University. Absolute banger content, you know. Can't believe that this guy was never unpopular. Can't believe he's not seen as more of a genius than he is. I physically do not understand. I say this a lot in my videos because most of my videos are made on content that I don't understand. Because I don't understand it. But this one is something, even from the fundamental levels of psychology, sociology, and medicine, I cannot fathom the idea that if I don't believe in something, it'll just go away. I cannot fathom the fact that dude is, like, I get that people don't believe in whatever, you know, and they act like that they have the world at their fingertips. We see that on Reddit and 4chan all the time, you know, but I don't understand how someone can look at something and notice that it exists and know that it exists and just stop. A perfect example of this is this tweet that I'm about to show. This tweet right here, that I just had to email myself because I couldn't find it. Hassan says, you do realize that human trafficking is a crime? And Andrew Tate comes in and says, please show me the law. So then when Hassan sends Andrew Tate the law, you know, from Cornell University, that has all the laws that we have, he says, I don't care about your empirical evidence, and my personal experience is not against the law. In your personal experience is not against the law. Huh? I don't understand. It's because you didn't get arrested yet, even though, again, showing this article again, you got raided by the FBI, or Romania's version of the FBI. Because you got raided, does that mean it's against the law? Like, you can't sit here and act like you don't trust empirical evidence, and you call it imperial, first of all, which is not the right word. The spelling is wrong. It's empirical, you know? That's how we do data. It's how the world runs and functions, is on empirical data. It doesn't make any sense to me how people can support this man, who is constantly rude to women. He's constantly degrading them. He's constantly throwing them down. Constantly acting like men are the ones who are the issue. And it happens all the time. He sparks all kinds of just horrible content for people. Like, it's really sad to me that we're in this world right now where people act like the world is perfect or America's perfect, and I'm not trying to get too political because I super don't want to get too political on this channel. That's not my entire goal, but they just refuse to look at issues that are right in their face, and when you show them anything, they just refuse and start looking at other things. A perfect example of this is the Hassan debate that he did. It was two videos, if I remember correctly, and he basically just asked Andrew Tate questions, and when Andrew Tate was asked these questions, they weren't given to him. Like, he refused to answer them. Okay, he made 4 videos total before, like, recently, but the point still stands. It's just really sad to me, and this is what I worry about. Like, I know this video is not going to get out to many people, but I do not understand how people can sit here and support this man who judges people, because first off, why are you judging what other people do? If you're not the person there, who gives a fuck? I know I do that a lot by making fun of content and just having jokes, but I do it to have a laugh and to make people happy, you know, and give them something to love. This guy doesn't do that. He just does it to degrade women because he can. It's really, really frustrating to me, and it's something that has been bothering me, and I've been wanting to not make this video, but he was banned 13 days ago, or 3 days ago he was banned, and I just wanted to talk about him for a minute. I just am kind of a little bit annoyed by this, and yeah, that's about all I got. Thank you guys for listening to the rant, and I hope you guys liked the video. Peace.